Hi, I'm Renee from Read, Write, Think with Renee, and I've been thinking a lot about all the learning that exists in our everyday life. So I've been thinking a little bit about offering some ideas of seeing the opportunities for learning in our everyday lives. And I thought I would start today by taking you on a walk with me. A walk, I've been making my mind thinking a little bit about what I notice and what I see, and that made me think a little bit about poets. And poets think about rhythm and meaning. And so I've been thinking a little bit about when I've gone on walks, if I can find poetry. Lots of poets observe the world and they find poetry. So today I thought I would show you one way on our daily walk we can find poetry. And that's by using our senses. So let's go on a sensory walk a little bit today, and I'm going to try to create a list poem in my mind just by paying attention to my senses. And so I made some tools to help me. So first, let's pay attention to what we see. So if I go for a little walk and I give myself time to take in what I see, I just saw a bird flying up in a tree. And I'm seeing some brown leaves on very bright green grass. And when I touch the grass, I'm noticing it's wet. And when I look closely, look at this. This is pretty cool. Look at these little drops of water left over from the rain. Whoops, I just flung them up. Can you see them? That's pretty impressive. Look at all those drops. They're beautiful spheres. They're circles and droplets. And so now my hands are damp. And you know what? That makes me think too, if I just kind of pay attention to what I feel, I could feel something in my heart, or I can feel something on my hands. And so if I just think about what I feel a little cold breeze, and I feel the cold raindrops. It feels kind of wet and cold. And the air feels a little damp. And now I'm going to pay attention to what I hear. So let me think about, what am I hearing? What do I hear? I hear birds chirping. I hear some kids in the background kind of playing. That bird had something important to say. And if I got up and started walking, I might hear my feet shuffling through the grass. I'm going to also think a little bit about what I smell. I wish I was smelling some flowers. I see flowers, but all I smell is cut grass. It has a pretty strong odor. I wish I was smelling some hamburgers on the grill, but I don't smell them either. I just smell that cut grass. And so now, as a poet, I'm going to also take all those things I listed and I'm going to let my mind get curious. I'm going to wonder about them. I really do wonder what those birds are saying. I wonder, do birds have a way of talking that they understand one another? And I wonder, how do those droplets of grass stay in that perfect sphere? And I wonder how long it's going to take for those droplets of droplets of rain to dry. And then I'm going to take those wonderings and I'm going to let myself just start having ideas. Like, I think birds are pretty amazing, because I think they have ways they can talk to one another, that they understand each other, but we don't. And so now I'm going to let you try it a little bit, and we're going to go together, right? We're going to have a chance to do it a little bit together. So if you're watching with an adult, or if you can take a walk, you can do it, or you can even just try it with me right here. The only one we can't do together is we can't really taste and we can't really smell. But let's try to do it a little bit together. So right now, can you try to listen into what you hear? And I'll be quiet a little bit so you can try, I hear, and can you list as many things as you can hear? And now try, what do you see? Can you make a big list? You can just kind of say it. I see, I see. You can say, I see Renee, I see Willow, I see green. What do you see? And this one might be hard to do on the camera, but you could do the I feel in your heart. So it might be, or even in the room where you are or outside, what do you feel with your hand, like your touch, or what do you feel with your heart? I feel surprised, I just heard a bird, or I feel calm, I feel excited. And now it's your turn to wonder a little bit. Think about what you just made that list about, and what does it make you wonder about? What do you, let your brain get curious. All right, here's the final one. And now have some ideas. What are your ideas? What does all of that make you think? I think. So what'd you come up with, right? We just went for a little walk. Poets think of rhythm and meaning. And a lot of times when we go on our everyday walks, we can live like poets. We can look really closely at the world around us by using our senses, what we see, what we smell, what we hear, what we feel, and what all of that makes us wonder about, and what all of that makes us think about. And you actually just wrote a poem. And here's the great thing about poetry, is poetry helps you give detail to your writing in a lot of other ways when you write. So when you write essays or when you write stories, you want to be able to give details to the person who's reading your writing. And so when we think, if we take a lesson from poets who look at things very closely and they describe things very precisely, they have precise words, we can use that work in our stories that we tell to elaborate, in our essays, and our book reviews, and our argumentative essays. It's also going to help us in our reading lives when we're able to take the words that authors give us and create a picture in our minds. We're envisioning the words the author gives us, and it helps us understand and make meaning and grow theories about the books that we read. And so I hope this was helpful. It's perfectly fine to write your poem in the air. You could also sketch what you imagined, and you could write words to it. You could find pictures from a magazine and create a collage. You could build a representation, a structure of what your poem looked like. But the most important thing is get outside, and there's a lot of everyday learning happening in our everyday lives. Let me know how it goes.